Hey up everyone, it's been quite a while since I've made a video. It's been too long, and to be honest I've had some things to do and I've been a tiny bit lazy, but that's besides the point. Anyways, a lot has changed since I've been away, and I thought I would decide to make a video on my new setup because I've got a brand new setup. This video isn't scripted or anything, it's kind of off the cuff, sort of vloggy style, so I thought I'd just show off my setup. Right, it's the other day from when I recorded the intro to this video, and a couple of things have changed, mainly this. This is my new laptop. It's an Asus VivoBook 14-inch X413. It comes with an Intel Core i7, and it's the cheapest laptop I could find with an Intel Core i7 for around £155 from eBuyer, I believe it was. I've got a video coming on this soon, so make sure you stay subscribed for that. However, into the setup tour. This is where I'm going to start off essentially. So this is where I pretty much build all my systems. I have them in storage until they're fully built. I've actually got some more parts coming for this, so make sure you stay subscribed for that as well. But yeah, like boxes on here, so in case if I need to RMA my board. That one's empty, that's currently my system, so if I need to RMA it ever, it's just easier to do because I've got the box. This one's actually got a board in. I believe it's a B450 Pro in there, not a Gaming Plus Max, but I still don't know if that works. I haven't been able to test it. And we've got other stuff. We've got like USB sticks. These are like full of screws, so I've like not cable managed. What's the word I'm looking for? I've managed them all into separate compartments, so I've got like motherboard screws, standoff, stuff like that. And we've just got a first gen i7 just chilling on there for whatever reasons, and we've got a ton, and I mean a ton, of old Intel CPUs. All these AMD boxes are empty, I believe. I think there's some coolers, it's still in some of them. I still need to get rid of some of this stuff. In here there's an actual cooler in there. I've got it is the Gamax L120. I don't recommend this cooler. My version of it was so loud, there was like air going through the pump. It wasn't filled properly from the factory, so yeah, not a great 140mm AIO. Speaking of great coolers, the Wraith Stealth, I believe this is, cools a Ryzen 3 incredibly well. Probably would get away with cooling Ryzen 5 as well, as they're really efficient. And there is my leaning tower of fans. There's loads of 120s and there's a couple of 140s at the bottom as well from various manufacturers. There's Fractal, BitPhoenix, and I believe there's some Be Quiets in there as well. Down here we've got my two spare keyboards. This is a G512 SE with blue switches. I don't know if you can hear this. Very loud, works perfectly fine. It did have a few issues with double clicking, but I've seemed to fix that. A bit of isopropyl alcohol in the switch while it was off, managed to sort that out. And this is, it's a bit dark down here I know, but this is my K70 10 keyless. It's kind of been a donor board recently because I've been like nicking the keycaps off it for my K70, but that's beyond the point. All these GPU boxes are empty. I need to get rid of that one. I still don't have that GPU anymore. This one's my brother's GPU, so in case we need to like get to the point where we need to sell it or something like that, gives it more value if it's still in the box and it's just easier to ship and stuff like that. A GTX 1660 Ti, that's my old GPU. I don't have that GPU anymore. I don't know why I've still got that box. It just looks like I'm in business when I've got all these GPU boxes on the shelf. This is a GTX 660. You might recognise this GPU. It was the one in my how to clean a GPU video. And yeah, it wasn't working too well then, but it seems to be working now, so yeah, all wicked. This is a, what is this? I believe it's a 650 Ti 2GB model, and yeah, this actually works quite well as well. Probably could do with new thermal paste. Might make some TikTok videos on this. TikTok in the description below. Just coming down here, this is my anti-static mat, so if I need to take apart a GPU or diagnose some like issues on a motherboard, or I'm building on a motherboard, this works just fine. It's like nice and rubberized, and we've got like little compartments to put screws as well I don't think it's magnetic. It might actually be because that's on the back, but either way, works pretty great. Over here we've got like a bunch of odds and ends and stuff like that. So in here it's supposed to be cables, but I've put screwdrivers in here for some reason. It needs organising, so we've got a ton of SATA cables. In here we've got my original G502, still works, but the middle mouse button is a bit screwed, it doesn't work properly. And yeah, these custom sleeve cables, these are 6 pins. My GPU has no 6-pin connectors, so we just keep these spare. Maybe I could throw them in a build and that'll be all nice. In here we've got like Joby pod, stuff like that. I use this for my camera. This is the 1K, so it's quite sturdy. My camera's pretty light as well, so yeah, sometimes I use it for my phone as well. And yeah, it does a brilliant job. It costs about, I think it was about 20 quid, 30 quid, something like that, but it's money well spent if you're making videos all the time. In here are my LED lights. These are, I believe, in 40 watt or 20 watt. It says on them 20 watt, but these are really good. So when I'm making a video or something, I can light up one wall and then light up another, and it just makes videos look better. And they actually work quite well as a key light as well. If you, not a key light, an edge light, if you actually diffuse them properly, which I tend to use like paper or something like that, pretty jank. This is an extension lead, so if I want to get shots of new PCs there, I'll just get an extension lead from there and it goes to here, and yeah, it just looks good and it's easy to get some good shots of the PC. This is my chair. It's a GT Omega Pro. I know a lot of people don't like racing bucket chairs, but I like this one. It's comfy enough for me. I know there's more comfortable ones out there. I just bought this one because I actually quite like my racing games as well, so it kind of makes sense. It kind of fits in, I suppose. But it's not actually leather. I really do not like leather. This is made out of like fabric. I don't know what fabric it is, but it works well enough. I like it. Kind of a pain to clean, but it's better than leather cracking all the time, and yeah, I'm just not a big fan of leather. And over here is the meat and potatoes of my setup. This is the centerpiece. This is my PC. As beautiful as it is, it does have a few problems at the minute. The GPU fans are in fact on their way out. I believe it's the furthest one because it's a 3-fan card, but yeah, I'm kind of waffling again. And we can finally come down to the main bit. This here is my Xbox Series S, and this is probably tied, well, I wouldn't say tied, just a bit behind my most favourite console of all time, which is the Xbox 360. This thing is amazing. Only bummer is the lack of a DVD drive, because I've got a bunch of old 360 games I want to play. But other than that, cannot fault this little Xbox. It works perfectly well. So this monitor is pretty much dedicated to the Xbox. It works just fine. It's not a great monitor. It's a standard 60Hz TN panel. I am looking to upgrade it maybe to a 1440p IPS because I want to use that second monitor for my PC. I currently don't at the minute. But yeah, that monitor is just used for Xbox, and when I'm not using my headset, I'll just put it on there like that. These are the SteelSeries Arctis Pro wirelesses. Really good headset if you have the money. Features on these, amazing. I don't think anyone competes really. Maybe Astro with the A40s, but these, really good. And we've got my little RGB ball. I've just got it on white at the minute. It's a good accent light, so if I'm staying up late doing work and stuff like that, which I tend to do quite often, writing up scripts and browsing Twitter and stuff like that, I leave that on white and it's just a good sort of like little accent light. Or I put it on like a yellowy orange, so it saves with a bit of eye strain. This is the Cyberpunk Controller, which the box is up there. Really good Xbox controller. The port is actually broken, so I've got to use these batteries because I don't fancy using AA's all the time because they are quite rubbish. Here we've got this like little dice fidget thing. I don't know why I've got that. It's just there. To be honest, I put it there to cover up these two little screw holes on my desk. And we've got my AirPods, which I mentioned. This is my phone, iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's actually being used for the voice recorder at the minute. Very budget, I know, but it works pretty well. Right, onto the proper PC part of the setup now. The meat and potatoes, where the work is done. I've got to finish this up because my camera battery is about to die and I've got no spare ones which are charged. But yeah, right, we've got a big picture of the Fallout 4 cover art. Really beautiful. Clears out the wall because the wall was just like a blank white wall before, but that looks really good. I'm thinking about putting acoustic foam there as well and down there, because it will give it some texture and it will stop some of the noise, like echoing, stuff like that. I don't think this room's too echoey anyway. Valentino Rossi, I don't know why I've quite got that. I'm not the biggest fan of MotoGP, but I think it looks pretty cool, so yeah, definitely worth having that there. Because I'm quite into F1, we've got the GOAT Lewis Hamilton with his Mercedes W11, beautiful car. And speaking of F1, we've also got him in his 2007 McLaren as well. That is probably my most favourite model of all time, and that car is just beautiful. Then Vodafone McLaren's beautiful. Got another Funko Pop Deadpool clown, beautiful. This is where I charge my Xbox controller. In fact, if I get it, I'll just put it on there like that. It's red when it's charging, it's green when it's charged. Down here we've got the main PC, so it's powered by a 3950X CPU, 32 gigs of Corsair Dominator 3200 MHz CL16 memory in dual channel. Might upgrade to 64 gigs soon, but it's kind of a wasted upgrade at the minute, I think, because I never really use more than about 25, 26. This is a 1080 Ti, as I mentioned. It's got problems with one of the fan bearings, but other than that, really solid card, overclocks really well. I think GPU boost pushes it to about 1900 MHz, which is about 200, 300 above the factory overclock from Asus, which is amazing. And I've got these nice purple sleeve cables, which actually do need organising a bit better. They're not too great there. And the focus is going a bit all wonky on my camera. Under here we've got a Corsair Rm850X, which is a solid 8 plus gold PSU, which is fully modular and is incredibly reliable. And the case, if we move back a bit, is the Nzxt H700, massive case. Airflow's not too great, the components get quite hot in there, so that's why there's no side panel on, it's actually down there. But like bugs keep going in there and stuff like that, mainly because it's warm and it's starting to quite annoy me, if I'm honest. What else is there to go over? There's like 12 million SSDs in here. I think there's 5 to be specific. No, there's 4 SSDs in here, and there's one mechanical hard drive down there. That's a 2 terabyte. Technically it's a data center hard drive, I believe, so yeah. And the motherboards, as I mentioned, is the X570 Ultra from Gigabyte. Solid motherboard. Down here we've got a Blue Yeti Nano, so when it's not being used I just push it down like over there so it's out of the way, doesn't affect airflow or anything, and when I'm using it I put it out there. Really good mic. I paid about 60 quid for this 2 years ago and it works like astonishingly well. No reason for me to upgrade that yet, because I've put some software sort of like noise gates on there and stuff like that, and I've changed the EQ on it, and I've got a muffler for it as well, and that is just a really good mic. My monitor is amazing. I really love this monitor. Believe it's called the Asus VG35VQ, and it's a 3440 by 1440p monitor. It's curved, it's got VA panel, and it runs at 100 Hz, and it is just beautiful. Look at that, it's amazing. This down here is my Corsair K70 with Cherry MX Browns, great keyboard. I used to have the K95, as you've probably seen in previous videos if you stuck around for over a year now at this point, but solid keyboard, made out of aluminium on the top plate, got a good wrist rest. Really, really good keyboard, durable. These are the sort of keyboards that will last you for years. Over here, G502. I use this mouse for whenever I'm doing anything productive, basically when I'm not gaming. One of the best productivity mice out there. That and probably like the MX Master and the G903. Over here, I've got the Viper Ultimate from Razer. Really good mouse. I've turned off the RGB because all it does is just waste battery, and it doesn't even sync properly anyway, so yeah, this is a really good mouse for gaming. It only weighs about 79-80 grams, and yeah, the sensor is amazing, hardly any latency. Well, there's pretty much no latency at all. And the desk itself is like, it's actually a kitchen worktop actually. And yeah, it comes in a block walnut finish and it is solid. It's more environmentally friendly than like getting a solid wood desk. And it's not as great as a solid wood desk, but it's still solid. It's not bending at all or anything. It's better than them IKEA Linmons, which I had before. So yeah, solid. So if you want a budget sort of desk, go get a kitchen worktop because they work so well. Down here, I've got like sort of the little receiver for my Arctis Pro wirelesses. It doesn't flicker like that. That's because of the shutter speed on my camera. So yeah, this is solid. You can control a lot of stuff from here. So like audio sources, I believe you can change it between like PlayStation as well. Doesn't support Xbox, which is kind of a bummer, but yeah. And the cable management under here isn't great, and I've lifted it up a bit. I've planned to do that because I wanted my desk to be a bit higher. But yeah. Right, so I should be in frame, and it shouldn't be like a weird sort of angle, but yeah, that is my setup. I've got to wrap this video up because my camera is about to die and I've got no spare batteries. But yeah, that is my setup. So if you like the video, like it and stay subscribed for future content, and I'll catch you in the next one.